Welcome to ATB-TV for this week. I'm not flying solo this week. We've got a new special guest in. Well, actually, probably more than a special guest. He's actually worked on and off with ATB for 5 or 6 years. Chris Blomeley, you may have heard his voice, you owners that had runners probably over the last 8 or 10 days. Chris has helped us out at the track with post-race interviews. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks, Pete.
We might just flick back through your bit of time with ATB and as a bloodstock agent. Obviously you've helped Darren and Liz purchase a lot of horses over the 5 or 6 years you've been involved.
Yeah, it's been good. I knew Darren from the days at Swettenham, selling him noms, and I went to Inglis and got involved in private trading and selecting horses there. So first sort of really got involved in a big way with Unusual Suspect,
yep.
Which as funnily enough, it's the Werribee Cup this Sunday, and he was the winner of that race.
That's right, Bradrawilla Road that day, yeah.
So, and then we've gone from there.
And the internationals have been, I think that Darren and Liz have brought into their business over the last 5 or 6 years. Obviously started with him, but there's some really good times with Jacklebury, third in the Melbourne Cup.
Third in the Melbourne Cup and third over in Dubai, and then won the race in Dubai. I think from memory won 1.5 for the team, so it was really good. It really was a thrill. Just a shame, he probably retired a touch earlier than we would have liked, but now he's on to a new career at Stud, and some of his foals are out there and look quite nice.
Darren and Liz were obviously over the ready to run sales there going back a few weeks and brought some photos back, and there's some cracking looking foals there. So.
Yeah, and I was actually staying at Darren's the other night and they dropped one on the ground and it looked really nice too. So onwards and upwards in a new career for him.
Yeah, for sure. Any of the other most of the internationals you've had your hand around?
Yeah, pretty much.
Dandino and all those?
Dandino, I didn't get involved in the deal, but I sort of consulted on whether he was a nice horse or not type thing. I remember it was about the time of Melbourne Premier, so I was back down from England for the sales. And he'd been put up to Darren and he asked me what I thought, and obviously it was the right horse to buy, so we went on from there. And then Seismos was the next year. Found it a little bit difficult when he got to Australia, but won a Group 3 for the team over in Europe, and he's coming back into work now, and Marco will pick some nice races for him, and he'll be suited to those, and hopefully put a few more wins on the board and a few more pictures on the wall. Yeah,
that's what they want, and he seems to be coming. I mean, he's taking his time with him obviously after injury, but he seems to be coming along good, so hopefully all that works out. Terrific. Another phase from it is working with some 2-year-olds now. We're sort of looking to build up a bit of a team, or maybe a bit of a allegiance with Brent Stanley. We've got a couple with him at the moment. Obviously, Magical Billy is one that's going to
Which is one that I bought with Darren and Brent together. That was the sort of the start of the relationship, and my relationship with Brent strengthened even further since to the point that we'll be buying all the yearlings together. So I'll only be buying for Darren Dance and Brent Stanley. Hopefully we've identified him as clearly the up-and-coming 2-year-old trainer in Victoria. At the moment he's got 5 going towards the Magic Millions. There's probably only 2 others in Victoria that are headed that way. And that doesn't include his stakes winner and another good Inglis horse. So he's clearly doing really well in that department, and I think all parties can work together and we can find some nice horses.
Food for thought out there for you people that are interested in getting into 2-year-olds. And
Magic Millions is just around the corner, mate, so
not a bad time to go up there, January, through for a week and enjoy the good weather and the festivities that go on with it.
Definitely.
We might move on now, mate. We're going to our runners. Obviously you come across just as many of these as I did over the journey. Unfortunately, for a dozen or so winners, we only hit the winner's stall once, but
it's been noticeable that you haven't been at the races, Pete. What have you been doing?
Darren's got me doing plenty of work. Don't worry about that. We don't have to go into it. There's always work there. As you've started, Dance goes, and probably in.
But I had to fill the gap. So make sure it's funny.
Probably funny just looking at both of us. We'll go to last Friday. You went to Mornington where social media ran 5th and ran a reasonable race at Bo Merton's Road.
Ran a reasonable race, and there's probably a win left in it. Bo I found to be very impressive. Actually, his feedback was great, so I'd say he's a jockey to watch for the future because he's got a brain and he's got the breeding to know what he's doing with the horse underneath him. So
for sure.
But social media, she ran a handy little race. Shame she couldn't get into the placings, but you know, there's wins there.
I went to the Valley on Friday night, not as much luck, but equally impressive a speaker as a jockey as Craig Williams. And
the best, I'd say.
Yeah, food for thought coming back. Ticket to Turek had no luck, sort of just got back in those 975s. Unless you're an absolute champion, it's hard to come from too far back. But he gave some nice thought for Matty Wheel, some things to digest in terms of maybe earmuffs, because the horse was a little bit stirred up beforehand, and then had trouble sort of pushing through just tentative in the run. So there was some terrific feedback from what looked at ordinary performance on paper, but he did indicate that the horse's best work was the last 50 and through the line. So that means that we're not seeing a horse that was just out the back and not making ground.
No, that's right.
It just didn't suit him on the night. But his words were, the horse is going terrific. Try these little changes, and then pick out a race. And
for sure.
We should see him run heaps better next time he goes around. Saturday, mate, we didn't have a lot of luck Saturday. You went to Sandown, and your two, Broadway and First was actually a pretty good run.
Broadway and First was a really good run. I think from memory, had the best last 600 and last 200 in the race.
Yep.
Dwayne Dunn got off and said, this is a good horse. So just needs to do a few more things right at the start.
Yeah.
But that comes with experience, and he'll get there. So that's exciting for the owners there.
Terrific. Yep. Also, we had Firehouse Rock from Hayes Davinick Stable, and he was on his sort of worst behaviour. It was a bit disappointing. Not worst behaviour as such, but it was just disappointing.
Just as can sometimes happen, didn't bring his A game on the day. I think we're going to find a race at Caulfield where he loves. And he's a 400 grand winner, so
that's right.
You put him in the right place. He's got the talent to do the job, and hopefully the race at Caulfield brings the best out of him.
That's right. We seem to be narrowing it all back to Caulfield, so if we can get there, I think it's Boxing Day. I think maybe the race they've picked out. So
have a break from the cricket and watch a horse run around.
Watch the Rock go around. We had two interstate runners, so we'll go to Sydney first at Brandwick, where you watched Ware Shaw.
Yep.
He was good to finish fourth, just missed third, probably ran into a little bit of traffic towards the end of the race.
Yeah, he's an exciting horse, Ware Shaw. A couple of clients that I've got from Sydney got involved. G'day to Ben and Ben. He did his usual, dropped out, flying home. Away it went for a gap, the gap closed, had to get up and start again, the line came too quickly. So he's ran a nice fourth. And as of yesterday, he's 24th in the order of entry for the Magic Moons Guineas. I would say that natural attrition or getting pretty close to getting in the field. If all things are right, he's running in a $1 million plus race.
From what I can read from the stage, it's a freshen up and go there sort of first up.
Yeah.
So let's hope that the attrition happens and we can get him to that race on the Gold Coast. Also, we had Tin Tagler at Morphettville. Now, on face value, she was disappointing. That was her race to win, but it was extremely hot.
Yep.
Probably 40 degrees when she ran. It was hot when she travelled over.
Yeah.
She's a mare. I think we can put a line through that and come back to Victoria and find a similar distance class race. And she may need a few more days to get over what transpired.
Definitely a forgive race. In my history of being around mares, they take things on differently. So
that's four-legged ones.
Yeah. Well, need I say more, Pete?
But I think we can certainly forgive her, and I'm sure Darren wouldn't have done too much with her this week. Darren Weir, that is, just to let her get over it. And they'll build her into a race because she's got one in it on her run before that.
I think the report's coming back that she can go up.
Yep. I went to Geelong on Sunday and talked about impressive young talents. Ben Allen, who is just hard to catch because everyone wants him on. He rode Chloe Anna, and it was the good ride you'd see from the 700 to the 400 to get beaten. He got beaten probably in the last 20 metres. One of Tony McAvoy's nabbed him, but the kid was just unlucky that everything just died in front of him. He was left in front, probably 400 out.
Yep.
To her credit, she stuck her head out and tried her little heart out, but the winner followed her through, got the suck run on her, and was just too strong on the line. But young Alan come back, spoke well. Everything you watched, he come back and actually projected out to the owners. So Yeah, good little rider, good little talker, and maybe, you know, he'll be a kid to watch in the future, like you mentioned about Bo Mountains. But as for little Chloe Anna, well, she's knocking on the door.
Yeah, for sure. That's
find a similar race. Yep. Monday I went to Terang. We had Raining Meteor first. I'm going from the worst run to the best run. And
I heard you put the brakes on it by buying shit.
Yeah, I've got a few people in that aren't happy with me, but yeah, my tips aren't going too well. The ownership's not going any good as well. Could only go upwards from last. He was disappointing. There's a few factors there, but Matty will go through them. The nose roll didn't work because he was going up with his head in the air for about 400. He probably obviously is a horse that prefers to sting out of the ground, and his form, his history probably says that. But putting a line through his run at Ballarat and that run at Terang, it was just chalk and cheese. So
Matty's a good enough trainer that there's a big billboard of him in Punt Road.
Yeah, see that.
So he's got the profile. He must have done something. I'm sure he'll work it out.
At the airport too, I think there's something out there.
He's getting around.
He's going to start getting winners. He might be sent to the airport too. Yeah. So no, he'll sort it out for sure.
He must be doing that in lieu of interest from the bank, I think.
Ah dear. The Last Angel, one of Weary's, trained by Weary. She, Damien Lane Road. She turned ahead as the gates opened.
Right.
She drew 12. Needed to be every little bit of luck go her way and push forward. Well, once the gates opened, she turned ahead. That was it, and she was out the back. Damien said she made nice ground, but it was a bit of a what do you call it, on-track bias there as well. So she basically had no chance from 50 metres after the start. So we'll forgive, forget, and find a similar race for her. Probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks as we lead into Boxing Day, New Year type races. They're the races we probably need to find for her and a couple others. The winner, Arizona Girl, fantastic. First up in the Weir camp after coming from Moody's. She won off about a 6 or 7 week break, so it was a good training effort over 1800.
Yep.
She pinged the gates and Dean Yendall was able to just lob in behind him, and he followed the eventual second horse into the straight, peeled out, and once we got to that 100 metre mark, mate, where they can all start using the shillelagh, she answered to the singer of Dean's whip, and she got over 3/4 of a length, and it was a good tough effort. So she can actually go to town and win on that type of run in mares grade. Talk about mares and going to town. You went to Sandown on Wednesday, my obsession.
Yeah, another good run. Barrier didn't help really. Mark Zara got stuck wide the whole trip pretty much. Tried to slot in, wasn't to be. Fortunately, with the new rules, horses like that take some picking up. Did get her going. She still raced a touch green in the straight, which is probably a funny thing to say of a horse of that age, but she put her head around, and she gets to run a better run. She probably wins.
Yeah, for sure.
But she's the next start or start after prospect with the right run.
We were chatting off air. There's going to be plenty of 16, that type of race.
This is a great time of year for those types of mares. Buy good stains out of good families, get a city win, increase her residual value, and then you decide whether you breed her out of her or you find a nice new home for her and get some cash to reinvest in more horses, hopefully.
That's the go, and ATB horses. We're here at Kyneton. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the intro, but we are at sunny Kyneton, and there's people out there partying away, mate. We're leaning on a little bloody trolley here that's got empty bags of ice. I know what that ice is sitting around, and we're not touching that stuff.
Yeah, not cokes, I don't think.
No. We had You Can't Be go around in the 1850 maiden, and his race was basically over at the start as well. He half jibbed the start, and that was it. Yeah,
just missed the sort of got the gate timing okay, but didn't sort of jump out as hoped. Was hoping to lead, couldn't really get there. Shuffled back in the field. Probably was a little bit one-paced in the end and needed more ground, but the new whip rules probably don't help those horses that build up to a point. Look, he's beaten 5 home. He wasn't too far away from the winner. So
I think he's beaten 6 lengths officially. So.
Yeah, so you know, pick the right race, and the owners can have something to cheer for, and see where you go from there.
I think he fits into that category. We're going to run into a lot of races on the one day. We can find it 2,000 probably is on a bigger track, and that'll be his chance to win.
Yeah, it's sort of very hard to find an easy race in Victoria. Yeah. The diluting of the fields will sort of help out horses that deserve a win.
Exactly. That covers all our runners. We'll go quickly into what's coming up. Not a lot. We're probably half a dozen runners over the next 2 or 3 days up until Monday, and we start off with Shiny Lass at Cranbourne on Saturday night. She is in a 1600 metre 0 to 58 after winning her 1600 metre maiden at Hamilton. I would think this race won't be much stronger.
No, you wouldn't have thought so. So might be an each way chance there.
Your little gun apprentice Bo Mertens is on, so
he's my pick for the future, Pete. So.
Righto. Let's hope he can combine with Shiny Lass. I'll go to Store where we've got 2 runners on during the day. That meeting at Cranbourne's at night. I'll be at Store during the day, where Escape the Rain has her second run after her first up run at Warrnambool. Out to 1300, which will suit more so than the shorter trip she had at Warrnambool. She's probably going to still need a little bit of time, but and I'm not thinking she'll probably get back in stalls at tight track. So we just want to see a positive run, and hopefully with Yandalon, she can improve on her first up effort, and we can go forward from there. Swazonts is a horse that's also running in a 1300 metre race. She's knocking on the door. Her 2 runs after 14 months off have been second and second.
Yep.
She was bloused last week at Hamilton, so her hoof's on the till.
Yep.
This might be Matty Williams getting a winner. So Jordan Grob rides. He rode it really well last start. Knows he rides a fair bit at the trials and all that. So she'll be a huge chance. And I'm sure back earlier in her career she won at Stall, so she gets around the track.
She can do the business there.
Sunday, Bordertown. Ever been there?
Haven't been to Bordertown, I don't think, Pete. I may have driven through it.
Sounds like it should be on the border somewhere.
Well, it wasn't that long ago. I was sort of over that way. I went and saw Crackerjack King, another one of the old boys that we had something to do with, and but I can't remember stopping at Bordertown.
No, me neither. Might have a pub, because if there was one there somewhere around that area, you reckon you nearly would have called in.
I'd been to visit my parents in Darwin and driven down, so I was certainly in need of a pub stop at that point. So there mustn't have been a pub.
We've got Grand Arrow having his second run for Damien Batters over there. First up run was a pass at Clare, which is another place where we haven't been.
I have.
You have?
Good wineries.
Well, there you go. There's at least get a drink there.
Yeah.
So Damien is confident that Grand Arrow can run or improve on the first up run, mainly for the fact that we've gone from 12 out to 1550. I think Crystal Bishop rides again. It's a weak field, very weak field, and again, while he's a bit sort of just hoping to see finish at the first 4, it wouldn't surprise him if he can finish closer.
It's that old saying about keeping your horses in the worst of company, isn't it?
Exactly. So let's hope that Green Arrow, can just keep the arrow can keep going in the right direction. Monday, we've got 2 runners, Kotika and Whitehouse Affair. Dancy's back by then, so he could probably go to Bordertown too.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to put my hand up for that one.
No, you'll say it's in my area, but it is.
I must have something else, some other connection somewhere running at Werribee on Sunday, I reckon.
Well, just the cup itself, but you got to go back there as unusual suspects.
Yeah, just restore. Just I've just got back from England too. Better let people know I'm about.
And they're all the travelling you've had to do for dances this week. Just a little quiet one out to Werribee and a few drinks with the go.
Yeah, I might catch a train, I think.
Yeah, that'd be better than driving. Back to Coolmore. Kotika, 1462.64. She was good. She was beaten in the same race as Ons ran second in, and it was a photo finish across the board. That was a good improved effort after Swan Hill. So any natural improvement fitness-wise should be right up there. Beaver Willer on. Probably got a chance to win one.
I would have thought so. Can travel Beaver Willer.
Yeah, can. Yeah. So. I was at Terang the other day and he got knocked off one. Oh, he fell off one too, and he rolled about 10 times. I'll tell you what, they earn every quid they get, those boys.
They certainly do, but I wouldn't be buying used cars off them.
no. I reckon if you've seen a car they've got that's clocked up 200,000, it's probably in about 9 months.
Yeah, that's right.
White House Affair was the final one at Kilmore, and she is second up after a handy run at Warrnambool. I reckon she just peaked late in that race over 1200. This is 1200 again, so if that's tightened her up a little bit, Jai McNeil on, I'd be thinking she's a chance to finish in the money too, so she'll have an each way chance there.
Brilliant.
Covers them all. Just a few horses we'll mention. You're at the trial. You may go to the trials to see a Basso Monday.
I'll be there. I'm not sure if Darren can make it or not, but regardless, we'll either both be there or I'll be there. So
he'll trial up and then head to the races the following Saturday. So it's good to have him back. He's a horse with good ability, and he'll have a lot of good.
I remember buying him with Darren at Easter a few years ago, and he's been a very serviceable horse and always sort of gets in the money.
Get the feel to be a terrific summer horse for the owners. Sure. I went to the trials during the week. We had the likes of Equieto and Cullen, and trial well enough to suggest that they can head to the races. So that's something to look forward to there. There's quite a few at pre-trainers, Embroidery, Bloodlet and Roan Chavella at Bendigo with Joshy Julius, and I think Darren will be shifting them to Weary next week.
Yep.
Imagey Joe, Silver Stratum, Ventura Highway, Dash and Maple now Approach. They're all with Christina Jeffries just down the road from where we are here. I think the top 3 of those will be heading to Weary's. I think the other 2 are a little bit, they'll probably need another couple of weeks with Christina. Falago, Edge of War, Imaging, they're all sort of going through their preliminary slow work before they start hitting the track. So
all have got enough talent to be winning races.
And it just gives us a good stock of horses coming through that we might be able to fill up the Christmas birdie at some stage, mate.
That'd be handy.
Need a winner.
Yeah, I've got a few gifts to buy. So.
Yeah, plenty. All right, mate, well that sort of winds it up. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Pete, and hopefully I'll see a few of the owners who I haven't met yet, either at the races or the sales or at the farm. We'll bump into you all somewhere, and maybe a social function we can sort of have a drink together.
That sounds good, mate. All right, well, that's it for this week. Good luck to all you owners that have got runners, and may ATB have a couple that can sleep.